Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning and thank you for being with us this cold Monday morning. While the weekend is over and here we are supposed to work. There are 5 official working days. Now that means you should be already at your workstation because it's exactly 5 minutes past 9 a.m. or you should be near your destination. So wherever you are, we want to thank you for the fact that you're watching UBC TV. I'm Robert Chirabonyo and this is Good Morning Uganda Extra, an extension of Good Morning Uganda. Now today is World Oral Health Day. That means it is the day that was designated to think, reflect on matters regarding our teeth or mouth. And among the groups of people in this world that I know that do charity is Rotary International, or Rotary everywhere in the world where there are Rotary clubs. These Rotarians give the little they have, though many may say, I've never seen a poor Rotarian, but give the little they have to humanity, to mankind, to do good. And joining me on set this morning is Rotarian Tom Obase, who happens to be from Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global, and he is the Deputy Director Project Services and BELEP Officer. Now, BELEP stands for Basic Education and Literacy Enhancement Program. He's going to be telling us first about Rotary. What does it mean to be a Rotarian? What does Rotary do in this world? And then later, we will concentrate on this concept or program that is the BELEP program. More so on this day, what is Rotary going to be doing, or what has Rotary done as far as improving the lives? Usually they target the most vulnerable or the poorest among the poor. Rotarian, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Good morning, viewers, and I'm happy to be here. Today is World Mouth Day. Let's ask ourselves, what is the purpose of our mouth? Do we know what we use our mouth for? And do we really value it that much? And it's interesting that people out there actually are interested in what we use our mouth for. We might take it for granted, but the mouth is like a heart to it. Imagine closing your mouth for one day. What would become of you? If you didn't open your mouth today, would you work? If you didn't open your mouth today, would you pray? Would you say thank you? So as Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global, we are happy to be part of this great initiative by the world to celebrate, create awareness on the purpose of our mouth and why we should keep it healthy. That is the World Health Oral Day. And we are in touch with Unilever Uganda. They are doing tremendous work in regards to promoting World Oral Health Day. And they supported us when we went to Masindi this weekend. We had a BELEP Caravan of Love. It's a cocktail of many great things to help these young children in Kamurasi Demonstration Primary School that has a unique form of education, inclusive education. They have children with special needs, various special needs, the blind, the deaf, slow learners, physical disability. But they have a system in which there is cohesion with these other children. You find a child who is we would call normal, but he is seated next to this blind child, and he is helping this child how to read. Or when the teacher says something and he has not heard, he will help them. These normal children have learned how to do sign language, where the deaf child is seated there, and this young boy and girl takes it upon him or herself to go and learn sign language and help these kids learn. And that is what drew us to Kamurasi Demonstration Primary School, because of that uniqueness. So we thought as a signature project for our beloved district governor, Honorable Mark Sevalu, basic education and literacy enhancement is the way to go, where we must encourage our children to love to read, open up their minds. Once we instill reading cultures in children, we are making them better leaders of tomorrow.
Now, one of the things you've said, once we, now help my viewer that may not be aware or better understand. When we talk about lottery, when I was in school, I was in Interact Club so many years back.
Yes.
And I grew up being told that from this you're going to graduate into a Rotarian. Unfortunately, I didn't follow up. After that, I think the world took me on the other direction. But one, when we talk about a Lottery Club global, all over the world, in many countries, there is lottery. What group of people, what is this association all about?
Yes, thank you. Rotary International is a group of people with like minds, with the heart to give, and the thing is, we all want to make the world a better place. Everyone out there, you have what it takes to make the world a better place. So as Rotary International, we come together as members of like-minded kind of thinking, and we believe that when we join hands, we can actually create a bigger impact. If I went to a school or a community and talked about all these challenges they are facing, I might go with Micah 20K, 50K, but when I involve Robert here and a few colleagues, we might go with 100K. When I go now internationally, we might go with $1 million plus. So all this is called the collective power. Collective power. In simple terms, we call it social capital. Social capital moves the world. So Rotary is that big, unique enterprise of like-minded, soft-hearted individuals out there to serve and make the world better than they found it.
That rightly said, then it brings me to ask, is lottery for the poor? I've been able to go to some of these functions that you guys have when you're installing. I remember Mike Sebalu happens to be a good friend of mine. Actually, he was once my area member of parliament. And one thing I've seen, if you're looking to see modern vehicles, modern Pia, that are on, if you're looking to see the big people in this, the people that drive the economy, if you want to see them when they have converged, then go to a meeting of Rotarians. If you want to see ladies dressed like the late Queen of England, go to gatherings of Rotarians. If you want to see all good design, fashioned suits of dignity, you know fashion sometimes goes, but yes, of dignity, then go to a gathering of Rotarians. So do the poor have space?
Rotary is not about money. Rotary is about the heart. So when you say the poor, poor in terms of what?
Okay, the average earner.
Yes, an average earner. To me, to become a Rotarian, you must have one major principle, the desire to serve. And that does not come from everyone with money, but it comes from within everyone. Now, yes, when we go for meetings, we obviously have to dress at our best. We have things we do outside Rotary that boost our lives, that make us better Rotarians. These are things that make us do the things we do. But if you want to see the real Rotary, don't go for just the installations, the dinners. Come, let's go for the projects. That is where Rotary is. You're going to see the normal t-shirt we wear. We are there, interacting with the little children, with the community, giving service. It's not about how much money you can. If it was about the wealthy, we would have no problems in the world. But it's about how much can we do with what we have. You can you are a good speaker. Rotary needs you. Come speak. Come and
What
speak.
is the criteria of one becoming a Rotarian?
They're basic. One, you have to have a pay subscription, which is something you do as a Rotarian. When you belong to an association, if you're in a circle, you know, because it's this money that is collected worldwide to help us deliver bigger projects to the community. For example, if in my club, which is Rotary E-Club of Uganda, this is a strictly an online club that favors people who are really very busy and might not have the time to go and have all these physical meetings every week. So we meet on Sunday at 7 p.m. And it's twice a month. So at least you can sacrifice those 2 days in a month and have a meeting at the comfort of your living room, your bedroom, or even in your compound, and discuss matters that change the world. Discuss things that cause positive, lasting change. And it could be just an idea of how can we go to this community? What can we do for this community? It could be your village. Because I tell people, if you cannot see a problem in your village, then I'm sure you're not going to see the problem in mine. So the best thing is, look at your village. We all have a village.
True.
We are in Kampala, we all have a village. Look at your village. If you go to the village and do the simple thing of just look at the nearest primary school to your home, when it comes to PLE time, just come, print, go Nasa Road here, print success cards, go and give those kids. You will never be the same when you see what a success card means to a child deep there in the village.
Those expensive smiles.
It's
And
not even
motivation.
expensive. It has no value of monetary value attached to it. It's something that touches you within, and you just cannot avoid but smile.
Now, Rotarian Tom, having discussed what Rotary is, what these guys do, and of course the criteria of becoming a Rotarian, and saying it's not about money, but the willingness, the heart. Unfortunately, many Ugandans are not into charity. And one of the things I've seen when you go to the developed world, even if you're contesting for a political office, they weigh levels of charity. You know, how much have you given back to the community where you expect no profit for that? But here in Uganda, I see so many people who are in a group. They can have dinners, they can have expensive parties, they can do this, but that element of charity, that is the trademark for Rotary, is very lacking. I just pray and hope that we see more people having that heart, willing to give, not because they have, though I must say, Rotary, you will still have a long time to convince me that we're Rotarians, but I also crave one day to be Rotarian, though I do that in the other field of aspect. Now let's go back to today, which is World Mouth Day, to simplify it. As Rotary, where do you come in? And what have you done? Are you giving good what in this time? Where is the charity element that people you're contributing on this particular day?
Yes, thank you, Robert. Because as Rotarians, we have used our mouth to preach the gospel. We have used our mouth to give thanks. We have used our mouth to invite others. The ones you're calling these powerhouses, we have used the mouth. You cannot sleep and expect them to come over. So we have used our mouth to talk to them, convince them, bring them on board. So on this day, the World Mouth Day, let's simplify it as World Mouth Day. Yeah? On Friday, we had a project as Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global in Masindi. It was a cocktail project where we have Belep, Caravan of Love. Belep, we are talking about how do we make reading a way of life? How do we promote education? Education among us. You know, in this UPE, there have been statistics about UPE. So as Rotary, our beloved, amazing district governor thought that as Rotarians, we have a contribution we can make. And that is why this year we are focusing on basic education and literacy enhancement. How do we make reading a way of life? One, we celebrate the government day, which is called the Dear Day. Most people don't know about Dear Day, but this is a government program, runs in every school, and it's on the 15th of March every year. So unfortunately, 15th of March we were here, and as Rotarians we have jobs, so we do other hustles. So we had to push our Dear Day to a more convenient day, which is Friday, not to inconvenience the children because they don't study on Saturday. So we went to Masindi, Kamorasi Demonstration Primary School, and did, and we were in partnership with Tunaweza Children's Center. This is a center that specifically has a soft heart for children with special needs. They do training, they do therapy, they have a center here. And I met this amazing Rotarian lady, Rotarian Pamela, and we had a chat for about 20 minutes. So she told me, we are going to do training for you. Well, I know you're going for a project at Kamurasi. So can we do training for those teachers so that they are able to better assess children and find their needs early? Because one of the challenges is late identification of the special needs in the children especially. So if we identify them early enough, we will be able to help them much better. So Tunaweza went and did a training for about 2-3 hours to the teachers, telling them how do they assess these children when they come in a big group. How do they manage these children? All that is something that was one, motivating to the teachers, additional skill, and it left the teachers very different. Up to today, they are interested in what they are taught. We did not only have teachers from that one school, we had teachers from the neighboring schools, because this training is something that can be a bushfire. So we had our neighbors come around, share the love. So she did the training and the teachers were happy. Then I had a group of people from here, Rotarians, Rotaractors, Rotarians from my club, from Rotary Club of Masindi. We have Rotaractor, we have a baby club, Rotaract E-Club of Uganda Global, for us to promote ourselves. Once you're growing old, you need to give birth to a new generation of talent. So it's that club. Then we had Rotaract Club of Clark International University, Rotaract Club of Victoria University, Rotaract Club of Kampala West. So all these people gave their time, funded themselves, and we went and did a Dear Day, where we read with the children, we danced with the children, because reading is in different forms. One is I can stand here and read to you a storybook.
The usual reading.
Yes. Two, I can stand here with my flip charts for children with special needs, and we keep doing signs and flip charts. Three, we could just sing a song. Those folk stories. Sing, that is another one. Four, we could just have group reading, all of us, chorus, 1, 2, 3, begin. Then we, all those things were happening in that school, beehive of activities. So after that, Dear Day runs for about 1 hour. So after that, we release the children. Then because of this project, Belep Caravan of Love, we had a donation of seedlings, fruit seedlings, cinnamon. So from the the PE president-elect of Buyogere Nambole. He gave us seedlings to go and plant. So after Dear Day, we got a few children. We went and planted trees, protect the environment. Yeah, so that when they start maturing and giving fruit, these kids, the same kids going to eat the fruits. So we did that as well. Then after that, we now came to the afternoon, where we had to do as Rotary E-Club of Uganda, the signature Caravan of Love, where now we had to focus on these children with special needs who sleep at school. How do we show them love? We carried so many things, food items, mattresses, mosquito nets. Some of the things were donations. And all this was on Friday. And then we saved the best for last. That is the World Mouth Day. We celebrated it on Saturday with a big heart from Pepsodent. Pepsodent came to our rescue when they saw that we were going to do all these activities in this school and the lives we are going to touch. They're like, let's celebrate World Mouth Day with these children. So they gave them a consignment. The school has about 1,400 children. So they were like, we are going to give all these children toothpaste as a way of celebrating. And that is what they did. We had to save Saturday for just that. Because it's a new concept to me. I cannot lie. I had not heard about it. But it's very interesting that I never thought of what is the purpose of my mouth.
Well, very interesting. There we see the works of the Rotary E-Club Global. Now, he's the guest, and of course, those are some of the clips showing what transpired there. But one of the things I've already asked myself, I've made boreholes here in Uganda by the Rotary Club. Have made, we call them communal wells.
Yes.
I've made a number of works that Rotarians do in this country. But my biggest question has always been, why is the element of continuity? You know, it's good to give.
Yes.
I cherish giving. I love giving, and I'm a giver. But one thing I've always yearned is, I don't want to give you a fish today. When you lack what to eat, you cook and eat. I want to teach you how to fish. Because when I'm not there tomorrow, you'll still be able. Lottery, you're so much of a one-thing event. I've seen you even sometimes construct health centers for people. I've seen, there's so much, but then what happens after you're gone? I don't want to mention some projects that I really feel. So, is it all about saying, today we are going to meet needy children, give them blankets, give them toothpaste if we've gotten so, give them, let them taste bread on Christmas, buy them meat, you know, but thereafter, I mean, they've eaten, they've enjoyed, but then sadness is going to embrace them the following day.
Yes. That is, Rotary is about creating lasting change. For example, Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global had a district project called Rotary Vijana Poa. Vijana Poa is a skilling project where we go and skill the youth. It's about give youth skills that they do not, it would help them earn a living from basically hand skills, especially those who have failed to go back to school. So we had a Vijana Poa in Kwania. So we opened up a youth training center, and we trained those girls. Because of COVID, COVID has a lasting impact on our population, and we are going to see that impact about 20 years from now, because most people have dropped out of school, most girls got pregnant. It's really sad, and this is the next generation of people we have. So if we do not help them now, then they will not be able to take care of their families. They are not going to be able to raise good citizens, and the burden will fall on the state at the end of the day. So the Vijana Power was targeting the young girls who unfortunately got pregnant. They're doing, maybe some of them are doing tailoring. So we thought if we trained these girls how to make reusable sanitary pads with locally available material, because one of the causes of their pregnancy is menstrual health management, which is a crisis around the world. So we thought if we trained them, they can make reusable sanitary pads with the local materials. One, they will earn a living out of it by making cheap reusable sanitary pads, and they can sell. Two, they are going to train other people in the different villages to do the same. Three, they will do the biggest thing, create awareness about menstrual health management, and that now will triangulate into our project of Keep Her in School. We keep girls in school by helping them with reusable sanitary pads. But the biggest of all, we train them on how to manage themselves during these periods and how to beat the thing of bullying by boys. When we go to a school, we call everyone, come here. Then we train you, everyone, what menstruation is, what it does, how to manage, how, so that these boys can help these girls in school. So once they are all aware, the boys were not even aware of these things, because we have many girls drop out of school because it comes when you don't know. Then you stay in your dress and then you become the talk of the school. The next thing, they don't come back. So through that center, we donated a few items, sewing machines, and we were in partnership with the parish, Aduku Parish, a Catholic parish church. They gave us a building there, the first church building that was there. It's pretty old, but I'm sure it's a good jump starter for these youth. So we thought that if we have a youth center, we can skill youth in various things at the center. We have done one, which is training in SPADs. We plan to do two, as we have asked the church for some land, get some boys, make them, we create a group in the center, and we do tree planting. We're protecting the environment, and they have these trees that will support the center. Three, we plan to have a cassava project. One, to fight nutrition, to boost food in the communities, but above all, to earn a living, make a living out of it. Sell the cassava food, at the same time, sell the cassava stem, and then you earn money that will enable these young boys and girls to send their now little children to school. And there, we are promoting basic education. In the long run. So we are having a long sustainability in that project. Kamurasi, you see, at Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global, wherever we go, we have to create a relationship. And it's the relationship that drives all these things day in, day out. So we have a relationship, and we're going to continue engaging. We already have an offer from Tunaweza Children's Center that they are going to train the teachers, continue training teachers for free, as long as we can bring them to their center here and look after them. That's a big offer.
Well, a big offer, still looking at lottery and, of course, World Oral Health Day, where Lottery Uganda, they are partnering to ensure that this day has meaning to the vulnerable. Like my guest here told you, how they have been able at least to give toothpaste. These are things that seem so small, by the way, but of course they are so relevant, and they put priceless smiles on the lives of many of these children. I'll return shortly after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC. was brought to you by
Get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial star 165 star 5 star 3 hash to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're descending into Entebbe Airport. For those proceeding to Kampala City, the biggest event in East Africa is in town.
That's right, the East African Business Expo 2023 is happening from the 23rd to the 26th of March at Kololo Grounds. Join us to network, connect, and grow. Contact us for exhibition or sponsorship opportunities. The 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023 is hosted by PPDA.
Now sit back and relax. It's time to explore great business opportunities.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next. Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagement with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Hey!
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short break. In case you've just joined, we are looking at World Oral Health Day or World Mouth Day, put it in simple terms, and lottery in Uganda. How do they come in to help the vulnerable? What have they done so far? What are they intending to do? And of course, if you've been following, we've had the connection, how they came in to help the less privileged children, of course, get in partnership with Unilever to get this toothpaste. Some of these things seem very small because you have them, but they mean a lot to someone who doesn't have them. They put priceless smiles on their faces. They motivate them. They show them that someone cares. I remember one time I was speaking to a former street child, and he said one day he was on the street and someone came and asked, "What is your name? How are you? Where do you come from?" He said that day meant a lot because in his lifetime, someone had shown interest to know who they are. And this wasn't a person who was chasing them, but just daring to know who they are, who their name is. It meant a lot to them. So those small things that these people do when they gather their little that they have, and they go and make differences in communities are what we are talking about today. Now, I'm also joined by, that is Lotaract, Ivan Ayuku, who happens to be the president-elect Now, this is President-elect of Rotaract E-Club of Uganda. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
And this brings me now. I have Rotarian, I have Rotaract. Now, who is a Rotaract to begin with? Because at least these ones we know. They have been there, the Rotary, the big people into this. Now, is this the baby class? But since you're here, let's go into that briefly.
Thank you so much. I'll give a brief about Rotaract. Rotaract comes from Rotary in Action. But Rotaract is basically for the youth. The youth 18 and up to 30. Rotaract is based in communities and institutions. We have Rotaract clubs in universities, Rotaract clubs in institutions of higher learning, and then Rotaract clubs in communities, now communities around. And we're having over 170 Rotaract clubs in District 9213, of which our club is part of District 9213, Rotaract E-Club of Uganda Global.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that was said, our viewers from Interact, there's Rotaract, then there's Rotary. Who are the Rotarians? Like my immediate neighbor Tom, Rotaract, I ended at Interact club. So, but I think now I don't fit in the Rotaracts, so automatically I'll go to the big shoes of the Rotarian.
Welcome to Rotary E-Club of Uganda.
Also, that will go with my finances as well. So if you're welcoming me, brother, also I must have what to give to cause that difference. But the good thing is, Thomas told me it's not how much you give. The little each one brings, when you put them in a pool, they mean much. And these can change lives of people. Now, going back to, that is Rotaract, Ivan. Now, what do you do as Rotaracts? You're in schools, you're in communities. Are there some successes we can talk about?
Oh yes, as Rotaractors, we believe we have the energy, we have the abilities that make us to reach out to the communities and impact communities. We do so many projects, not any different from the Rotarians. And in that case, we, like our club, Rotaract E-Club of Uganda, we joined our Rotarians and we helped in the skilling of people, especially the youth. The youth need the skilling, and we have done that. We have impacted their lives. We are now having another project where we are partnering with Rotary clubs, international and local. That is the Utiti project, which will be in Chenjojo district. And we are running a drive, a fundraising drive, to have this project done. We shall be rehabilitating Utiti Girls Primary School, where we shall provide water, we shall provide infrastructure, we shall touch all the 7 areas of Rotary, including the basic education, including the environment, including also, we shall also touch the bit of health. And it's good that today is the World Oral Health Day, and all that will be touched in that project. We shall have all the 7 areas of focus touched. We're having the fundraiser on 8th April at Aria Samaj Playground in Kololo. I call upon everyone to join us for the fundraiser and join us for a good cause. We are going to play for a good cause. We are going to have games which suit everyone. Kids, games, even us, the big people will have our games to play. Yes, please.
With the aim of getting money to help renovate, set up, also have water for the school. Yes. Now this brings me back to Rotarian at home. Now Rotary is a global thing, Rotary International. Do you have global projects? What should we expect? How should we be hopeful for anything that is in the pipeline away from just what you're doing as Rotary clubs under the various districts here. Let's look at that as well.
Yes, thank you once again, Robert. As Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global, we actually have one very big project that we are calling upon other clubs to join us to make what I insist on, lasting impact, positive lasting impact. We visited Chenjojo. This is, we call it Butiti Adopt a Community Project, which is in Butiti, a sub-county in Chenjojo district. And these people, we visited quite a number of schools. One of them was Butiti Girls Primary School, Galihuma Primary School, and Maddox Secondary School, which is the only secondary school in the sub-county. So you can imagine the distance people move. But we found that most of them had similar issues. One, insufficient toilet facilities for them, where you, especially in Butiti Girls Primary School, where you find they had one four-stance toilet. By four-stance, I mean a toilet with 4 doors. And girls use one side, boys use one side. And this is being used by over 500 children. So, and then they have a nursery section. Now the parents decided to put up, you know, when you go to the village, those small squatter mud hut toilets. So the parents decided to dig a small one for these little children so that they do not go to the mess, because it's a mess there. So we found that is terrible. So water, these are hilly places. Then we have that drought from about November to around March. At times it goes to April. So all that time, you find the schools don't have water. They have tried, the communities have tried, the government has tried, and they have given them water collection tanks. There are schools like Butiti Boys, which is quite below. They had about 7 rainwater collection tanks, and we recommend, we commend the people who help them get those. But there now is a big problem where the community has no water. The school has collected its water in these tanks, and then now the community people have to, they come and vandalize these tanks because they need water. We found the tanks, because the school locks the tanks, so they just break. They fetch and the rest goes to waste. So at the end of the day, they still don't have water. So we thought we need to find a way of fixing this. We can add value, we can create change, we can do something as Rotary. Then the school, the classrooms, they are not plastered, the floors are not there, you know, and this is where all these children go. And partly the cause why people leave school is because of the conducive environment they do not have. Especially the girl, I talked about the girl child. When a girl goes to that school and she's in her days, and then there's no water, there's no toilet where she can easily go and sort herself out. If they are not very determined, they will kick out of school.
So how are you planning to create this change?
We are going with the global grant. We plan to do all this.
So there's a global grant?
Yes.
Oh, how much money are we looking at?
This global grant is in 3 phases.
Okay.
We had to phase it because of the magnitude of the money.
Now you're talking money, I'm excited.
Yes, and because the initial global grant was about 1.2 million US dollars.
Okay.
So phase 1 that we have, we plan to implement now at Butiti Girls School is one of 210,000 US dollars. So far we have about close to 15 international partners who have poured in money, and they have committed to come and help us do this, because once they saw what was there, they felt they needed to touch the lives of these people. So this project is going to look at renovation of the classrooms, building flush toilets for these kids. We are going to have a computer room for the teachers. We need to empower teachers. Because as part of basic education, empowerment of teachers is key to drive that. So we are going to as well train teachers. Government has now a policy that primary school teachers must be degree holders. So we plan to send some of these teachers back to school, give them a degree, so that they better teach our children and deliver best. Then we are going to have a small center as well, Keep Her in School project, with a few tailoring machines to teach these kids how to make reusable sanitary pads as children. So we are again giving them an extra skill from what they teach them in school. 3, we have a cassava project where the school has land. So we plan to give them the cassava varieties that work best in their area. We believe that if we planted maybe 3-5 acres of cassava, one, the children will have cassava to eat. As our Muzei has really told us, cassava has all the nutrients. So if these kids have a full belly, trust me,
they'll be able to grasp something in school.
The school will have cassava in excess, they will sell. The school will have cassava stems, they can sell. The school has cassava stems and has parents who come from the community. They can as well give the parents to go and plant in the community. So we are fighting hunger at the same time. It's supposed to be a network of activities.
Well, there I see some continuity, and of course transforming lives. Now, if we can have many of these kinds, then a number of problems in this country will be solved. I can't wait to see that tremendous change, and I pray that all goes well at that particular school. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not left with so much time to be moving out of here, but I'll just go to the president-elect, that is Lotaract E-Club of Uganda, as I get your concluding remarks.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I would like to let people know that Rotaract, Interact, we are people of action, and we are impacting lives. I call upon everyone out there to come and join any of these clubs and impact the communities around you. Let's have a way of transforming lives. We create peace in the world. We protect the environment and promote education, basic education and literacy.
Yes, Rotarian, as we leave the set, your concluding remark.
Yes, thank you, Robert, and viewers for having us this morning, for taking your time to listen to us. So for one, I invite you, Robert, to please come and join the Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global and spread the gospel with the talent you have, speaking. Come and speak for us. We need you, and the world needs you. Out there, I send greetings and love. Rotary E-Club of Uganda Global is about sharing love. So I invite you to come and join us. Do projects that change lives in a positive way. I implore everyone, if you are not a Rotarian, by joining Rotary, be a Rotarian by action. Start with the small things as creating a smile in the neighborhood you live in. And through that we shall have peace in our communities. And with the big global grant, we believe when more hands come together, we shall sing and praise the Lord. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, Rotarian, Lotaract, and of course the many Interact clubs in various schools. Thank you for the good work you do, giving from the little you have to create a difference. I was trying to, when Tom, you were making your concluding remarks, I'm so much rooted into scriptures, and there is a scripture, I'm trying to recall exactly where it is, that they tell us our Lord Jesus will tell us that when he was hungry, we fed him. When he didn't have clothes, we clothed him. And many will ask, but when did we give you food? When did we give you clothes? And the answer is, when you fed the poor, when you dressed the vulnerable, you did it for me. So let's dress the Lord. Let's feed the poor. Let's take from the little we have and make life-changing moments and lasting solutions to these people. You don't have to have so much to give. It takes the heart, that willingness to share that little, but create a very big impact, sometimes a life-lasting impact. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, God willing. Stay safe. Remember, the rains are here with us. Please do not move when the showers are so heavy and your visibility is not good. We want you alive and kicking. See you tomorrow.